Okay, so let me get right into this. I definitely cannot see myself, so I'm sure I'm not even really focused. I understand the hat does not go with the look very well. Yeah, definitely not. All right. Good morning. Okay, so my name is Gabriel Bowman. Yeah, I know, I'm dressed like a goofy goober right now. I totally understand that. This is not my everyday attire. Just kind of felt like dressing up today, just so I could look nice for you all. And I'm wearing a hat. Listen, I'm not bald. I promise. Listen, I got a good head of hair right now. Currently speaking, I'm pretty young, so things could go away. I just felt like this made things look a little less, I don't know, formal. So, a little bit more personable, maybe. So let me just kind of go into this. I live in Salt Lake City, Utah. Dost, whoop, right there. Didn't give you my address, so not a full DOS, but you know where I live. And why is that important? Well, I think it's important to look where everybody comes from, and see where they go. Now, I live in a great state. I live in a great city. Everything is good. Everything is sunshine. 1 month of the year is rainbows, which I'm not a big fan of. But listen, I'm not here to discriminate against some of you folks. Anyways, this is my first video for this channel. I have another channel. It's not crazy big. I have like 100 subscribers. Haven't filmed on it since maybe junior high. The whole reason why I'm starting this channel, I guess a greater desire to help the boys of America become men. And I don't feel like we have a whole lot of men in the world today. We call ourselves men, but we really do not know what it means to be a man. I mean, we're out here, we're watching Matt Walsh asking women out on the streets, what does it mean to be a woman? Men don't really know what it means to be a man. Let's be real. Let me get a little bit closer so you can kind of feel, oh. Men don't really know, Woo. Men don't really know what it means to be a man. And I have been, I served a mission for 2 years. I went out to the greater Spokane, Washington area. I was kind of up all over that eastern side, even in northern Idaho a little bit, down to a lot of the college towns. I served at Gonzaga. I served down at WSU, Washington State University, down south. And I was up in the boonies. I was 6 miles from the Canadian border, living in what felt like a third world country, not gonna lie. There was not a whole lot out there. I was not on any social media except for Facebook, and I did have Instagram. I was a very privileged missionary to have Instagram. The rules are very strict if you're familiar with missions. So having Instagram, that is almost a no, but we had some circumstances, so I was pretty blessed to be able to have that opportunity. But just so you understand what we use those things for, it was strictly for helping people or finding people who are struggling with things like addiction, when they're going through faith crisis, different things like that. They're trying to figure out who they were. Or other questions might be, what is the purpose of life? Which is a question that we were extensively trained on in a place called the Missionary Training Center in Provo, Utah. And so a lot of you, I know what you're thinking, oh, he's a Mormon, he's this cultist dude. No, I'm not. The biggest thing you should learn and understand from what I've just told you is that I'm a God-loving man. I don't care if you belong to another church, or maybe if you don't even believe in God at all. I don't know, maybe you believe in Zeus. I don't know. I have no idea. There's all sorts of beliefs out there. But that's not my goal to push your beliefs away from you. And neither is it my goal to change my own beliefs. So I'm going to be upfront with you guys, and I'm going to tell you what I believe in. Because I think first and foremost, if you want to become a better person, you do have to believe in God. In a lot of your circumstances, a creator of some sort, right? A higher power, a higher being. Why is that so important? I mean, what motivates us to do good? Honestly, before religion, what was there on this earth that motivated us to be good? I mean, human nature is like, yeah, we should probably provide for the family, things like that. But down to the deeper things, like when we have to deal with circumstances like addiction and different things like that, what motivates us to actually want to stay away from those things? Oh, it could be our health. Yeah, your health is declining, but there's a whole lot more depth to that. Why is it that when we say we fall into a temptation, we actually feel guilty about it. At least we do the first time, right? Eventually you kind of desensitize yourself, and then guilt kind of comes back every once in a while when you're like, I really shouldn't be doing this. Where did those thoughts come from? Something to kind of ponder on. But just to kind of organize myself, because I know I'm a little ADD and I'm going to go off on a million different tangents, I'm going to try and narrow it down. A lot of you maybe found this video due to the YouTube algorithm, where you're searching up, change. How can I change? How can I overcome addiction? Is there a God? Who am I? What is my purpose? Things like that. You might be searching all those different things up. And my whole goal here on this channel is to break those things down through a series of multiple videos. On top of that, my other goal is I'm bringing what I did as a missionary to a different level, to more temporal things like with your job, with work, with your career, with finance, all these different things that I was able to learn as a missionary, and even as I did learn once I got home from that 2-year experience. And I want to bring it to you guys. I have an email if you guys want to set up a time. In fact, I encourage you guys, if you guys are searching for these things, if you guys are really serious about these things, I would encourage you guys to go down, check out my email in the description or the link below, aquickreset@gmail.com. I recently just bought the domain. I'm going to be making it a business. And the whole purpose of that, I feel like I'm going in circles. Hopefully you guys can kind of read me a little bit. The whole purpose of that is really to help you guys find that purpose, right? I'll be setting up 45-minute meetings, things like that. Anyways. The whole point of this video is not to sell you guys on a service that I have or on a product that I'm selling you guys, right? The greatest product I have is actually free, and it's going to be in the form of these YouTube videos. I don't know, I've always wanted to film videos. I've always wanted to create something to be inspired from. And just a little over 2 weeks ago, I was working in a job that honestly, it was very sought after for me, something that would help me to grow, help me to develop as a person, help me in the future to run a business, and so many other things. This job was everything I was seeking and more. It gave me an opportunity to retire and be able to take care of my family without really having to worry about money. And it was I could go into depth about it. The whole business probably won't even make sense to you. But I quit it just 2 weeks ago. Knowing I wouldn't have a whole lot of money just to survive, I just barely bought a brand new Mercedes C300. I made a decent amount of money from that job. Not a whole lot, right? But I made enough. I bought a Mercedes C300 2015. A car I'd been working for over a year. I'd been wanting so bad. And I had these car payments. I had these responsibilities I had to take care of even yet still. And I quit the job. I quit this job in pursuit of becoming a better person in all reality. I'd realized at a certain point that this job wasn't really going to give me what I wanted. The people on top were still working. The people who were retired were still in the stores. And I'll just give you a little bit of information of what they're doing. They were selling cell phones. Now, this business model works for a lot of other people, but for me, that was not what I wanted. My goal was to retire when I was 25. I'm 22 years old. I'm pretty young, which means I've got to get moving quick. So I quit the job and just to go and pursue filming this video. Like I said, I'm not trying to sell you all on anything. Just want you guys to hear me out and kind of hear what maybe speaks to you the most. I did have something on the side where I'd be teaching art class. I'm not working enough hours to make enough money from it. So actually, I took a huge pay cut, only enough to barely pay for my car payments every single month. It wasn't like just a stupid risk, right? It was definitely a calculated risk. And every single day I worked on pursuing my dreams and my goals to become a better person, a video creator, an inspirer, a life coach for you guys. And for whatever reason, life got so much harder the second things started getting better. Like I got a little bit more lazy. I quit Instagram, Snapchat, all these different things so I wouldn't be distracted. I quit all social media. I left it all behind. Because I realized, I would be well on my way if I had done this a lot earlier. Rather than scrolling through my phone, wasting away my life, waiting for the moment that I'm some rich billionaire. No, that's never gonna happen. Don't do that, guys. Don't do that. It is so simple. We already have the blueprint in our minds of how we'll be successful people. You create a business model. You have something that you love. Every single one of you have something that you love. And believe it or not, just a week before I left, and I believe everything happens for a reason, I ran into a guy who had inspired me to pursue this financial freedom when I was a lot younger. His name was David Klein. Love this guy. He taught me that all you really need to retire is a duplex and to write a book. I mean, clearly that's a comfortable way of retiring. Like, you don't really, it's still, things are a little tight still, but it gives you time. What he means is retiring isn't that you just don't have to work for the rest of your life. It's that you have time to work on things that you care the most about. And today, you know what he does for work? You know what his business is? He met with a bunch of investors who wanted to create a business around his idea of treasure hunting. He'd been doing these treasure hunts where he'd hide a bunch of money up somewhere in the mountains, and then he'd create kind of a little of a rat race where everyone's looking for this treasure. And these investors caught hold of that, and then, he created a business out of it. He told me one simple thing. He said, hey, listen, you can find something you love, you can create a business out of it. Think about that. I mean, it's such a simple thing. It is such a simple thing, and a lot of you and a lot of us, I'm sorry, I don't want to exclude myself because I'm guilty of this. A lot of us just shake it off and we say, oh no, that's a good hobby. No, it's a business. It is a business. My goal is I wanted to create videos. This is something I love. I've done wedding videography. I'm no pro with a camera, clearly. Hardly know how to work this thing. I did wedding videography because I loved it. I did photography for a couple of larger companies. And I did videography for a DJ and things like that. I had a lot of cool experiences right when I came home from my mission. But now my whole goal is to take this videography love and obsession to the next level, become an influencer for you guys, and help you guys to build yourselves up. It was just yesterday that I just felt down in the dumps. Like, I want to just be transparent with you guys because life is not easy. I mean, I'm just in the start. But I felt down in the dumps because I was not accomplishing anything. In a lot of ways, I had kind of put in my belief and love for God to this side as well. And I didn't go to the gym yesterday. That was the first day in the 2 weeks that I've quit the job, right? With the time that I had. And that whole day, you kind of just project your feelings after a while. Once you start thinking, you're like, oh, dang, this sucks. And maybe you guys are feeling that same exact way. I don't know. But if there's one thing I've learned, it's that hardship brings about inflection. When you see that line on the graph and it's going up, or maybe you're just kind of stagnant, right? And all of a sudden, boom, you kind of shoot up, right? That's inflection. And I started studying these things. A book of scriptures that I used on my mission every single day. It's basically falling apart. And I read the things that inspired me from the past. I remembered the hardships I went through on those 2 years when I was away from my family and my friends and away from all those different things when I made that sacrifice. I realized I'd forgotten something very major. Here I am, I'm on a whole new path to change, become a better person, and to create a future for myself. And I'm speaking from experience so that you guys can kind of liken it unto yourselves and actually make a difference. Get off the couch, stop eating your Cheetos and playing your video games, stop scrolling through Instagram. Those things are clearly designed to keep you down. Because if everybody was rich, if everybody was famous, and if everybody had what they wanted, then the guys upstairs would cease to exist. I think I might want to finish this off by just simply saying one little thing before my camera shuts off again. I've read a lot of books. One was from David Goggins, and he made mention of this, so this is what this thought is inspired by. But the last thing we want is for us to arrive at the pearly gates before, whatever creator or God you believe in, if you believe in anything. But just imagine for a moment, even if you don't believe in God or creator of some sort, that there is one, right? And imagine you walk up to those gates, or whatever you want to imagine it to be. Close your eyes and think about this. And you stand before that God or that creator, whatever you believe in. You stand before the creator, and you can't even look him in the eyes. You can hardly look up at him. You can hardly look at his face, because you know that before him you stand guilty, that your hands are dirty, that you did not accomplish anything. You wasted your time on Instagram and Facebook and Snapchat and on the Xbox, on your computer, playing video games, watching porn, submitting to addiction, alcohol, drugs, any sort of substance, and you can't even say a word to this man who you know a lot better than you think you know him now. And he knows you even better. Just imagine you've arrived to your Father who loves you, and he looks down upon you, you know, and he would still love you. He would hug you. He would grab your hands. And though you feel like you accomplished nothing, he would still love you. But then he would say, I love you. You accomplished a lot, but this is who you were supposed to become. This is who you were supposed to be. If you're on a journey for yourself, if you care at all for yourself, you would make a change today. And even though you don't really care, I mean, you're just gonna glide through life. I mean, like, maybe you don't even really feel like doing what you know you have to do. You do not want to end up in that position. God would still love you. But you and him both know that you could have accomplished so much more. I look at my mission and it almost reflects that whole entire experience on my mission. I'm just finishing up here. And I remember that final week of my mission, you know, I dedicated my whole life in preparation for the service of God. It was something that was very important to me. And I remember that last week, I thought about the things I could have done better, the things I did great, but the feeling of joy that filled my heart when I had prayed to the Lord and asked him if I had completed everything he had sent me there to do. When in my mind I got this subtle, overwhelming feeling that I had done everything that he'd sent me there to do. That was a joy greater than anything else I've ever felt in my entire life. And to all of you, let that be a reminder that this is not a walk in the park. It's not going to be easy, nor is it going to be comfortable. I mean, you can make it comfortable, but hardship's still going to hit you. But if you are not doing the things that you need to do now, you'll never become the person God sent you here to become. And that is it. So I leave that with you guys. Hopefully you guys were able to take whatever you can out of this video. And if you want to see more videos like this, just raw, the truth. I mean, I'm sick of these creators making these videos saying that they're helping you when they really aren't. They don't care how you live your life. And I'm willing to dedicate everything to you guys. Like I said, I am willing to offer like a little service. I still have to make a little bit of money, but I'm going to make it affordable for anybody. Just to come and meet with me, set some goals, and I'm going to dedicate all of my time to you. I will go beyond that hour that I give you. I will check in on you. I will ask how you're doing. If you need anything. What words of inspiration do you need? That's my whole goal. And I'm also going to make a chat here eventually, completely free of charge, nothing like that, where you guys can all kind of meet together, commune with each other, and set goals together and see where you guys can end up. Because ultimately, like, we all have goals and we can all help each other achieve those things. After all, you become the average of the 5 people you spend your time around. So spend your time around people who are willing to grow with you, who are willing to grow just like you. That's what you really need. And I promise you that if you dedicate your life, if you continue watching these videos, if you really dedicate your life to your self-progression, without pride, obviously, because that's one of those biggest things, dedicate your life to self-progression and humility, you'll become the greatest version that you ever thought you could be. And I leave that with you guys in all sincerity. My name is Gabriel Bowman. I'll be looking forward to seeing you guys in the next video. Bye.